Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sam, here with episode 4 of my audio series, Once Memories. I know it's been a while since I posted a video on YouTube, but I'm in self quarantine for the coronavirus here in the US, and kind of been sucked into the rabbit hole of playing MapleStory again. Started an account after not playing for 8 years, and it's been kind of consuming my life, but I know it's been a while since I did a video, and I wanted to do another episode of this series. So here is episode 4, which is Cheer Up TT era. So to give a little context, this was when I had finished teaching in Korea and I went back to the US, back to California. So I graduated early in 3 years, and I didn't know that until kind of after I signed my lease or renewed my lease in Davis. So I actually had an apartment to go back to, or a house actually, a room in a house. So I went back, and I was really chilling for a while, really nothing to do. Davis is really quiet, which is nice for studying, but not good for anything else. And I was on Facebook a lot, I guess, and I saw that Cheer Up really blew up in Korea. And, like I said before, I didn't really follow music shows, but the fact that Cheer Up kind of went really viral kind of brought me to start watching shows like M Countdown, Music Bank, and it kind of really, got my leg itching to go back to Korea. This time, not to teach, not to work, but just to have fun, go to the fan sign maybe, just to reward myself. And the timing was great because that was also when law school acceptance letters came out, and got into Hastings. I had friends who were, working but not yet living in SF or commuting from home, and it was like a pretty far commute. So, I talked to them and we decided to, move into a place in SF together. And, this is time for like celebration, for fun. And I decided that, why not? Let's go to Korea. And I had some leftover money from when I taught there. Like I said, I spent most of it having fun in Korea, going to Seoul every weekend and, eating out and whatever. But, it wasn't that pricey, I guess. I still had leftover money, paid off all my loans, which wasn't that much, but, had some leftover cash. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go, just have fun, enjoy a couple weeks in Korea as a reward for getting to law school, for, just starting a new chapter of my life. So I decided to go. I was going to stay in my friend's place, the one who let me stay in his place in Seoul every weekend. He was down to let me stay there for a couple of weeks, which was very generous of him. And that's what I did. But my real plan was only to just go to fan signs because I didn't really know anything else. Twice hadn't had a concert yet. It was just go to Korea, see Twice a couple times, maybe if I was lucky a couple times, and then just enjoy myself before going back to school, going back on the grind. And boy, I just really had nothing really planned, really set, and just went for it. Thinking back, it was pretty wild. But again, I was really bored, even in Seoul, because I only literally planned 1 or 2 fan signs max. So I was online a lot. And what ended up happening was I found a thing called Simply K-pop, which was like a pseudo music show. Technically, it is a music show. They do air it, but it's really geared a lot towards foreigners because the broadcast is in English. It's on Arirang, which is like the US, or not US, sorry, the English Korea channel. And they broadcast it in the US. And I was on the website, and I saw Twice was going to be on it. So I signed up, got in, and while sitting in line, I think I was second in line, the guy who was first in line struck a conversation with me because he knew I was a foreigner, probably spoke English because I was in the foreigner, like this is a foreigner show, so got into that line. And he found out I was a once. He just liked K-pop in general, but he's been to music shows for Twice, and he told me, if I wanted to go to other shows, he would know how to do that. So he taught me how to get into music shows, and he even introduced me to my first once friend. So that's where I met Kimu, who lives in Japan. If you guys watch my unboxing videos for the albums, she helps me do borders for albums now. And yeah, it's kind of wild that I met my first Once friend back in 2016, and I still talk to her even these days. Talked to her recently for you know, and Twice repackaged stuff. And yeah, so I met her for the first time, music show 2016. And during music shows, I learned a couple things. I learned about fan chants. Haven't ever done it before. And I remember during like ooh-ah era, I didn't hear it during the show recording because I was, all the way up top in the stadium, couldn't really hear anything. But during the like year-end SBS thing that I went to, where they performed "Do It Again" and like "Ooh-Ah," the one at the Coex, I heard some people chanting along, "Ooh-ah, ooh-ah." You can watch the video, and I was like, "Huh, that's really interesting." And then watching music shows where Cheer Up kind of went viral, I heard people were chanting certain lines during the song as well. So after going to the music show, I kind of learned the fan chant. I actually learned it during Simple K-pop. I heard people doing it, and I was like, "Huh, that's what like people do here, I guess." So I learned it during the music shows during Cheer Up. What I also learned was that they gave out broadcast cards during music shows. So yeah, the dude I met during the Simple K-pop recording, he taught me how to get into Twice music show, which I did a video before for you guys, so you can check that out. But yeah, it was really simple. I got in, and then I learned that they actually give out cards for everyone who gets into the shows. And this is the first time they did broadcast cards for Twice. They actually didn't do it for like ooh-ah, but they did it for Cheer Up. But these cards were like full photo size, not just like photo card size, some small ones, but they're big postcard, photo 4x6 size. And yeah, so I still have my cards from that. And this kind of really bummed me out because looking back, I should have started collecting then. Because Twice didn't have that much stuff to collect. I didn't think people would be collecting every single card, right? Back then that was unfathomable because they released a lot of these broadcast cards. And I just saw how many there were. There were a lot. There were more than 50 different cards, right? I think. And I couldn't comprehend people getting all of them. But should have gotten it back then because now they're a lot harder to get, a lot more expensive to get. But, that aside, I went to 5 music shows. I remember that because you needed 6 to get a Polaroid, I believe. I only went to 5. So it was kind of sad. But I think the same thing happened to Kimu, so we're both sad. But yeah, it was fun going to music shows for the first time. To Korea this time was for fan signs. And I think I've talked about these fan signs a couple of times on my channel, so I won't go too deep into stuff that I know I already covered. But I wanted to mention the second fan sign that I went to for Cheer Up was in Incheon. So I bought 15 albums, which was less than I did for the first fan sign. But it was because I heard that it was a lot easier to get into non-Seoul fan signs. Twice did the one in Incheon, like I said. I think they did one in Daegu and Busan before. But yeah, so it was easier to get in. And I just timed things poorly because I had wanted to give these dolls to the members. I know they watched Descendants of the Sun because they did a parody during Twice's private life. And yeah, I saw them while like wandering around in Korea, and there was these 2 really big, replica dolls. And so I ended up buying them and carrying them to the fan sign, and they were really, really big. So what had happened was I went to Incheon, the Incheon fan sign with these dolls. And it was great. I'll link the fan sign video, the fan cam. But yeah, they had really fun with the dolls. And actually, it was back then, members they didn't keep gifts anymore. That was only during like ooh-ah, but during Cheer Up Page 2 era, they still played with the doll or the toys, whatever they get, and they signed certain ones that they enjoyed, they liked, or memorable, whatever. I don't know their standard, but they signed some of the stuff. Not all of them, maybe like 2 or 3 per member. But they stopped doing that these days because people started selling them, and people might have their own reasons, but it's generally frowned upon for obvious reasons. But yeah, back then they still did that, and Nayeon and Jungin both signed these giant dolls because they were pretty memorable. They're pretty fun. They had a good time with them, and I still have them. You've probably seen them before on my room video or on my thumbnail. The old thumbnail for this channel used to be the dolls. But yeah, after the fan sign though, something wild happened. So one of my friends, his name is Jimin. I think I've featured him in a video before in the past, like a vlog or something. Like he's a Taehyun fan. But anyway, he is a video creator, not like a YouTube video creator like this channel, more like a videographer, And at the time, he had decided, or he had agreed to make a video, like a music video for this independent artist. And coincidentally, that night, I was in Incheon. He ended up shooting part of the music video in Incheon. I don't remember what happened, but I told him that I was going to be in Incheon that day. And he was like, yo, come through. So I ended up going to his MV shoot location. It was actually pretty close by to where I was. And what I didn't know, though, was I met him up at 9 o'clock or something like that. It was after the fan sign, so it was after 8, maybe 9-ish. And I thought it would be for an hour or two. But in the end, the shoot lasted till legit the next morning, The subway stopped running at midnight, started running up again at 6, and I didn't get home until 7, Had to take the subway, the first train after that. So I was there the whole night, and I ended up doing nothing, He just wanted me to chill out, hang out with him and his friends while they shot this video. And I guess he knew I was a fan of K-pop, even though his friend wasn't even a K-pop artist. He was like a hip-hop R&B artist. And yeah, he just wanted me to see the production for some reason. And I went. The thing was, I went directly from the fan sign, so I saw my giant dolls, the 2 dolls. They were in a bag, thank God. My album was in my backpack. But I had to carry them through the whole production. It was wild, too. Even though he was doing it, I think he was doing it as a favor for this dude. I don't think he even got paid. But there was a crane involved. They did an overhead shot. There was a motorcycle ride involved. It was wild. It was crazy, the shoot. But yeah, the one thing you guys probably do know is people smoke a lot in Korea, especially dudes. And during breaks in between the shoot, Jimin and his friends smoked the whole time during breaks. And I need to protect my dolls from the damage, smoke damage. So it was middle of the night. I'm standing. I had to walk at 50 feet away from them so they wouldn't get their smoke. It wouldn't damage my dolls or my album. So it's just me at night avoiding these guys during breaks. And then during the shoot, it was kind of cool watching. But I still had to carry these dolls around. It was wild, but it was a pretty funny memory. Definitely once in a lifetime thing. But to this day, I still regret not just going home after the fan sign because that was a very tiring day. The day of the fan sign, they had a music show as well. Twice did. So I went to that. I don't remember. It was either M Countdown or Music Core because it was in the same general area. It's Digital Media City. I've taken you guys there on vlogs before, but it's that area. And yeah, the long day. Kind of regret going to that video shoot, but overall it was fun and kind of wild. So yeah, after all the music shows and fan signs, because I came into Korea during promotions, and promotions ended shortly after I arrived. But yeah, after all that stuff, I ended up going to my old school in the south to visit my students. So, I enjoyed going to Seoul every weekend, obviously seeing Twice, going to IU concerts and whatnot. But genuinely, one of the best things about going to Korea the first time was meeting and teaching and learning from the students that I taught, right? And these kids, a lot of them were really big fans of K-pop. I knew because during a lot of the talent shows, they would do dance covers, song covers, and what really uh, tugged at my heart was that since they lived in the countryside, most of them lived on farms. Um, they didn't really have the opportunity to enjoy a lot of things like, buy albums, even though they were genuinely the biggest fans I've ever met. So, yeah, I remember when I was teaching, I used to buy some albums. I bought some BTS albums, some EXO albums, stuff like that. But I figured since I had some extra albums from these fan signs, I could, give them away as presents. And since I actually planned to go to Korea, knowing that I would visit the school, I also brought with me a bunch of snacks from the US. Most importantly, I remember I brought these mega stuffed Oreos because Korea has Oreos, but they have regular Oreos and they have Oreo thins. So I figured they never had these, extra stuffed ones before. And at the time, Oreo had the double stuff and the mega stuff, right? And mega is definitely bigger. So I was like, might as well go all in, show them what America's really like. I got mega stuffed Oreos. I also got some other cookies. I think I brought, I couldn't get Girl Scout cookies because they weren't in season, but I did get these like Keebler Girl Scout like cookies. It was like Samoas, right? But anyway, yeah, the kids really enjoyed the snacks and also enjoyed the albums. I just remember it was really fun seeing them enjoy the albums. And to this day, a lot of them are still Twice fans. Some of them are friends with me on Facebook, and I don't talk to them that much. Sometimes they message me random nonsense, but some of them have Twice members as their profile pictures, which I think is really cute. Anyway, um, yeah, that's what happened to a lot of my albums. If you guys remember, I think I did a video on that a while ago, but definitely a fun memory I had as well. So yeah, I spent the day at my old school with my former students, and actually I spent the night there at a um, another English teacher's apartment. I knew her from before from our program. She just renewed her term, and I didn't. But yeah, so the next day I went to a different friend school. The other friend taught at a high school in Posang, which is the city that I lived in, and the city I used to live in. So she actually told me when I told the group chat, there was like an English teachers group chat for the area. I told her I was going to go back and visit. She told me that some of her students were onces or fans of Twice. It's two girls, I think. So I brought two albums for them as well, and I visited the school, checked it out, got to experience what a Korean high school was like. Met some of the teachers at that high school and some of the students, and yeah, it was pretty cool seeing like high school fans of Twice as well. But yeah, so that was a fun experience. I remember, yeah, those are fond memories, and I think Cheer Up is the era that I really consider being active as a once, right? Because while, I did go to fan signs during like UA, I think a lot of that was me fumbling around and somehow stumbling into, a couple times seeing and meeting Twice. Whereas Cheer Up was the first time I actually ventured out to go to Korea for the purpose of participating in their comeback. Not to say that I didn't stumble as well, because I did stumble into music shows somehow by meeting someone who was knowledgeable and meeting a friend at the music shows, and um, getting into fan signs again blindly, really. But yeah, it was when I first experienced fan chants, broadcast cards, just watching music shows even, and following the charts. But just like Star Begins, it'll always have a place in my heart as a first, right? Like the first time I was kind of aware of procedures of being a fan, being a once. And yeah, it's definitely one of the biggest learning experiences of my life. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was a little long, also kind of probably really jumpy and not really planned. I just kind of went off the top of my head. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this story, this once memory. And Yeah, I'll be doing this probably once a week or so. Just good time, kind of good therapy for myself, just talking about the past and my experiences. And I hope you guys all stay healthy, stay safe during this time. I will be, like I said, having the DICON videos out sometime this week, as soon as I get them in. And I'll be shipping them out as soon as possible. But yeah, let me know if you guys had any memories during this era or any similar experiences as I recalled back here. And yeah, let me know. I really enjoy comments on these videos. Just letting you guys, having you guys let me know what you guys think, any recommendations. For now, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys next time. The next episode will be Twice Coaster Lane 1. Alright, bye guys.